everyone, my name is Tricia, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make a Moana paper doll. Assisting me will be Mini-Me, this doll you see here, which I'll be using as a guide. You'll see her in the background a lot too, as her body type is the standard that I use for most of my dolls. The technique I'm using is called Golden Venture paper folding, where I make the same basic unit over and over again and then stack the pieces on each other to make the finished product. I learned the basic technique from a friend in high school and then added my own flair to it, and I experimented with different stacking patterns until I found a formula that works for me. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is a basic pattern I put together for Moana's doll. I don't typically make patterns before I start a doll, since I normally just use an existing doll's body as a reference, but I threw this one together so you guys have an idea of what the finished product will look like. I know it's kind of freakish looking, but I promise it'll make sense once I walk you through it. For now, just notice that the pieces are layered over each other in sort of a brick wall pattern, and that the torso has 16 pieces per row while the head has 20 pieces per row. These dolls are built from the bottom up, and that means that the first layer we're making is this one here, shown by the blue arrow. Notice that this layer and some other layers are shaded in gray. That's because they are there for structural support and won't be visible in the finished product. But before we can actually start making the doll, I need to show you how to make a basic Golden Venture unit. So we're going to start with an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper. I'm using one that's single-sided. There's stuff on the back. It's okay, we just need one side to be completely blank. So start by folding it in half, hot dog style. I'm creasing it down the middle here, and then tear it in half. Now set one half aside, we're going to work with this one. Now fold it in half hamburger style. And tear that in half. Now fold in half again. And tear, and in half again, and tear, and one more time, fold in half, and then tear it. And this is what you're after. Before we go on, I feel like now would be a good time to mention that a single 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper yields 32 pieces exactly. Each layer of the doll's torso should have 16 pieces, so a single sheet of paper will give you enough pieces to make 2 whole layers of the torso. And now to make the actual piece. Take that piece of paper you just tore and fold it in half hot dog style. I'm keeping mine with the fold facing up. Now fold in half hamburger style so that you have a crease down the middle. Fold, crease. Now turn it over so it's a mountain and fold both sides down the center line, like this. Now turn it around. See these two flaps? We're going to tuck the corners in by folding them like this. Now fold the flaps down and close it. And there you go, a triangular Golden Venture unit. Now I'm going to unfold it and do it one more time so you can see more clearly. Now notice that there are 2 peaks here. There are 2 peaks on each piece, and if you turn it over, on the underside there are 2 pockets. And that is the basis of Golden Venture paper folding. Now go ahead and fold these other 15 pieces. The next layer we're going to be doing is shown here by the blue arrow, and it is the first visible layer on the doll, so that's why I listed it as layer number 1. And this layer corresponds with Moana's feet. Now, if you have brown paper or tan paper that matches Moana's skin tone, then you can go ahead and just use that. I don't have anything but white paper, so I'm going to color my pieces to match Moana's skin tone before I do anything with them. So here I have 16 pieces of white paper that I've torn out, and I'm taking one, folding it in half, and I'm going to color it. So I played around with some colored pencils and crayons and found that the best combination for me that matched Moana's skin color is brown colored pencil under a layer of apricot crayon. But you can play around on your own and find a combination that works best for you. Now notice that I'm only coloring part of the pieces, which is this rectangle down here, and that's because when we put our doll together, that will be the only part of the pieces that's visible. And just go ahead and do that to all your pieces and then fold them. Alright, so here I have my 16 brown pieces that I just colored, and the 16 white pieces from earlier. To make the doll base, take a white piece. Notice it has 2 peaks here, and those 2 peaks are going to fit into the pockets on the brown pieces. So take 2 white pieces, line them up together, and turn them so that the peaks are facing you. Then take a brown piece and slide it onto the 2 peaks in the middle. And you're going to go ahead and glue that. If it looks like I'm putting a lot of glue on there, I'm not. My glue bottle just sucks. So you go, dab of glue in each pocket, line your white pieces again, and slide the brown piece onto the 2 peaks in the middle. And there you go. So now go ahead and do that with the rest of your pieces until you run out of white pieces. So here we go. We've got 8 triplets. We use up all the white pieces, and here's 8 brown pieces left over. Now take 2 of your triplets, line them up together like before, and then slide a brown piece onto the 2 peaks in the middle. So now go ahead and glue it, just like before, and do that with the rest of your triplets, and then glue those triplets together and so on until you run out of brown pieces. So here's the final piece. And notice we've got a ring now. Slide it on, glue it on actually, and there you go. There's your doll base. Set it aside to dry. It's important that you let your doll base dry, because otherwise if you start building while it's still drying, your doll base is going to fall apart and you will be sad. Alright guys, thanks for watching. That's all I have for now, but next time we're going to be working on the actual body of the doll, so that should be more interesting. While you're still here, I want to take a minute and give a shout out to my friend Rudy. She has a gaming channel where she plays a variety of games from Undertale to weird Disney knockoff Flash games. And you should check her channel out. She's super sweet and she's a lot of fun. I'll put the link up here and also in the description box. I'll also upload the pattern for this Moana doll to Google Drive and put the link in the description too, in case you guys want to reference it without having to open this video every time. If you liked what you saw here, a thumbs up will be much appreciated. If you have suggestions for improving my tutorials, I'd love to hear them in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in part 2.